Tomorrow morning can feel different. Picture this, you wake up and as you swing your legs out of bed, you feel a quiet strength. There's no familiar ache in your thighs as you stand up. Your knees don't groan their usual morning complaint. Your arms, as you stretch them high above your head, feel steady and capable, even after the gardening you did yesterday. This isn't some far-off fantasy. This is your body doing what it's designed to do, rebuilding itself, making you stronger, leaner, and more resilient, all while you sleep. This is a reality that is absolutely within your reach, and I'm going to show you exactly how. This video is for you if you're a woman over 50 who is tired of feeling like strength is something that's slipping away day by day. If you've noticed that it takes a little longer to recover, that your balance feels a bit less certain, or that your muscles just don't have the same power they once did, then you are in exactly the right place. Because there is a powerful secret to rebuilding that strength, and it's not what you think. Here's the problem that so many of us face. Most women over 50 are told that the answer to fighting age-related muscle loss, a condition scientists call sarcopenia, is found in the gym, lifting weights, or maybe in that warm, comforting mug of bone broth you sip every night. You've probably heard the logic. It's full of collagen, right? So it must be the perfect thing to rebuild your muscles and keep you strong. It sounds so right, so intuitive. But I'm here to tell you it's not exactly the truth. The real story, the one that can change how you feel every single morning, is that muscle isn't actually made from collagen. And if you are relying only on that nightly cup of bone broth to fight the slow creeping loss of muscle, you are missing out on the real repair team, the one that does the heavy lifting. In a moment, I'll show you the two overlooked nutritional allies that form the foundation of true muscle recovery. The surprising reality is that a simple, natural food, one you probably walk right past in the grocery store without a second thought, is far more powerful for protecting your precious muscle tissue, for rebuilding your foundational strength, and for reversing that slow slide into frailty that we are all so determined to avoid. It's not expensive, it's not a fancy supplement, and it doesn't require a complicated recipe. We are going to get to exactly what that is. But first, we need to completely reset the way you think about muscle. Forget what you've been told. Let's talk about where strength is actually born. Type ready in the comments right now if you are ready to wake up stronger tomorrow. Have you ever wondered why, even after being so consistent with your daily walks, or so dedicated to your resistance band workouts, your strength still seems to dip year after year? You're doing everything you've been told to do. You're staying active, you're pushing yourself. Yet you might notice that carrying the groceries in from the car feels a little heavier, or that pushing yourself up from a low chair requires a bit more effort. It can be incredibly frustrating and demoralizing. You're putting in the work, so why aren't you seeing the results? Here is the hidden truth, the paradigm shift that changes everything. You don't actually build muscle in the gym. You don't build it on the walking trail or in the yoga studio. You build muscle in bed. And no, I'm not talking about that kind of bed activity. I'm talking about the deep, restorative, uninterrupted sleep that is your body's prime time for repair. Think of your muscles as a busy construction site. During the day when you're moving, walking, lifting, and living your life, you are essentially the work crew. Your activities create tiny microscopic tears or micro cracks in the scaffolding of your muscle fibers. This is a normal, healthy process. It's the signal that tells your body it needs to get stronger. Then at night when you fall asleep, a specialized repair crew shows up to the construction site. This crew is made up of powerful hormones and cellular repair mechanisms. Their job is to patch the cracks, rebuild the broken down sections, and reinforce the entire structure, making it stronger and more resilient than it was before. This is how muscle is built. It's a two-part process, the stimulus of activity during the day, followed by the repair and rebuilding at night. But here is the critical catch, the part of the equation that is so often missed. If the right building materials aren't available in your bloodstream when that night crew shows up, they are stuck. They have their blueprints and their tools, but they can't do their job. Imagine a construction team arriving at a site to find no bricks, no mortar, no steel beams. They can't rebuild what's broken. They can't reinforce what's weak. The site remains in a state of disrepair. This is precisely why so many women over 50 lose muscle mass and strength. Even when they stay incredibly active, their night crew is clocking in every single night, ready to work, but the essential building blocks, the bricks and beams, never arrived. This is where the great bone broth myth comes into play. Most people assume that the protein from bone broth, which is primarily collagen, fills that role. They think they're supplying the construction site with everything it needs. But here is the fundamental misunderstanding. Muscle fibers are not made of collagen. They are made of a complex chain of building blocks called amino acids, which are strung together to form complete proteins. Collagen is a wonderful protein for other things. It's fantastic for the health of your skin, the resilience of your joints, and the integrity of your connective tissues. But for the specific job of building muscle, it's like trying to build a brick wall with sand. It's simply the wrong material. You might be thinking, wait, I've seen the labels. I know bone broth is full of protein. And you're right, it is. But the crucial distinction is the type of protein. The protein in bone broth is what we call an incomplete protein. It's rich in certain amino acids like glycine and proline, which are great for joint health, but it's critically low in the essential amino acids your body cannot make on its own, especially one called leucine. Leucine is the master switch. It's the foreman on the construction site who walks in and shouts, "All right, team, let's get to work." Without enough leucine, the muscle building process, known as muscle protein synthesis, never truly gets started. So let's bust this myth once and for all. The myth is that bone broth rebuilds muscle because it contains protein. The fact is that most of its protein is incomplete and lacks the sufficient amount of leucine needed to trigger the muscle repair switch in your body. It's a supportive player for your joints, but it is not the hero your muscles need. So if bone broth isn't the answer, what is? What is the secret building material that your night crew is waiting for? Let's find out. Have you noticed changes in your strength since turning 50? Just comment a simple yes or no below. Your experience matters, and sharing it helps everyone realize they're not alone. Let's cut through all the confusion, all the marketing hype, and all the noise online. The real muscle-preserving powerhouse isn't hidden in an expensive, fancy jar of powder from a health food store. It's not a complicated supplement with a long list of unpronounceable ingredients. It's something simple, humble, and incredibly familiar. It's something you probably grew up eating. The answer is eggs. Yes, the simple, humble egg, not bone broth, not expensive collagen powders, not obscure superfoods, just the incredible edible egg. You might be feeling a little surprised, or maybe even skeptical. Can it really be that simple? The answer is a resounding yes, and the science behind it is crystal clear. So why eggs? What makes them so special for women over 50 who are determined to maintain their strength and independence? It comes down to one key concept: complete protein. Eggs contain what is known as a complete protein. This means they provide every single one of the 9 essential amino acids that your body needs to function, but cannot produce on its own. You must get them from your food. Think of these 9 amino acids as the complete set of tools required for a complex job. If you're missing even one, the entire project grinds to a halt. Most importantly, as we discussed, eggs are particularly rich in that all-important amino acid, leucine. Leucine is the key that fits perfectly into the ignition of your muscle cells, turning on the engine of muscle protein synthesis. Without enough leucine, the engine stays off, no matter how much other protein you consume. Let me paint you a picture of how this works in your body. Imagine it's late afternoon. You've just come back from your daily walk, feeling energized and good. For dinner, instead of something heavy, you decide to make a simple 2-egg vegetable omelette. It's light, satisfying, and delicious. You enjoy your meal, relax for the evening, and then head to bed. Now the real magic begins. As you drift into a deep, restorative sleep, the leucine from those eggs is circulating in your bloodstream. It travels to your muscle cells, which are primed and ready for repair after your walk. The leucine acts like a signal, a direct command to your muscle cells to start the rebuilding process. Tiny muscle fibers begin to knit themselves back together, not just to their original state, but stronger, thicker, and more resilient than before. By morning, when your alarm goes off, something is different. You're not just not sore, you feel a subtle but distinct sense of stability and strength. You are quite literally stronger than you were yesterday. This isn't wishful thinking, it's biology. This process is backed by solid scientific research. A significant 2017 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition looked at this very process in older adults. The researchers found that the participants who consumed a leucine-rich source of protein in the evening experienced significantly greater overnight muscle protein synthesis compared to those who did not. They were actively building more muscle while they slept, simply by providing their body with the right materials at the right time. Now, a quick and important note on safety. For most healthy people, eating 1 to 2 eggs per day is considered perfectly safe and beneficial. However, if you have been specifically advised by your doctor to limit your cholesterol intake due to pre-existing high cholesterol or other heart health concerns, it is always best to have a conversation with your healthcare provider first. They can help you determine the right amount for your individual health needs. And here's the wonderful bonus, the kicker that makes eggs even more of a superstar for our bodies. They aren't just a source of protein. Eggs also contain other crucial nutrients like vitamin D and choline. Vitamin D is essential for muscle function and bone health, and choline is vital for the nerve signaling that tells your muscles to contract in the first place. So when you eat eggs, you're not just delivering the building blocks, you're also supplying the project managers and the communication system for the entire construction site. You're fueling a complete holistic system for strength. Let's go back to that mini scene. You finish your walk, you make a cozy, comforting veggie omelette for your evening meal. You settle in with a good book and a cup of herbal tea. And while you are dreaming, your muscles are hard at work, patching, repairing, and strengthening, all thanks to the simple, powerful fuel you gave them. It's a beautiful, efficient system, and it's available to every single one of us. So we have our master builder, the egg rich in leucine-rich complete protein, but even the best builders need a calm, stable, and safe work site to do their best work. This is where our second ally comes in. Enter ally number 2, anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids. You can find these powerful fats naturally in foods like sardines, wild-caught salmon, mackerel, and for a plant-based option, freshly ground flax seeds and chia seeds. Here's a problem that silently undermines the health and strength of so many women over 50, chronic low-grade inflammation. It's not the acute inflammation you get from an injury, which is a healthy healing response. This is a persistent underlying inflammation that can be caused by stress, diet, and environmental factors. Think of this chronic inflammation as a constant drizzling rain on your muscle construction site. It makes the ground muddy, the tools rusty, and it slows everything down. It makes it harder for the workers to move around and do their jobs effectively. This is exactly what inflammation does to your muscle building process. It sabotages muscle growth in a few key ways. First, it can make your muscle cells resistant to the very signals that are trying to tell them to grow and repair. It's like the foreman, leucine, is shouting instructions, but the workers can't hear him over the sound of the pouring rain. Second, chronic inflammation can actually accelerate the process of muscle breakdown, meaning you're losing muscle faster than you can build it. This is where omega-3 seeds come in. They act like a powerful weather shield over the entire construction site. They arrive on the scene and calm that inflammatory drizzle, creating a more peaceful and efficient work environment. Scientific studies have shown that omega-3 seeds work to lower inflammatory markers in the body, which directly helps your muscles. They improve the sensitivity of your muscle cells to amino acids, especially our hero, leucine. This means that when leucine arrives, the muscle cell is more receptive, more ready to hear the message and get to work. Omega-3 seeds don't just calm the storm, they amplify the message of the builders. Many people hear omega-3s and immediately think of heart health or brain function, and they are absolutely crucial for both of those things. But their role in muscle preservation and repair, especially as we age, is a game changer that is too often overlooked. The evidence for this is compelling. A landmark trial conducted at the University of Washington School of Medicine focused specifically on older women. The results were astounding. The study showed that the women who added omega-3 fatty acids to their diet had a 30% greater muscle protein synthesis response compared to those who didn't. Let me say that again, a 30% greater response. They built 30% more muscle from the same protein they were eating, simply by creating a calmer anti-inflammatory environment in their bodies. Let's create a quick checklist of the benefits for women over 50. When you combine these two allies, you get stronger muscles, less systemic inflammation, which often leads to better joint comfort and improved recovery time after physical activity. It's a synergistic effect where each component makes the other more powerful. As always, a quick safety note is important. Omega-3 SAV, particularly in high-dose supplement form, can have a blood-thinning effect. If you are currently taking blood-thinning medication like warfarin, or if you have a scheduled surgery, it is essential that you talk to your doctor before adding a high dose of omega-3 SAVs to your routine. For most people, incorporating fatty fish into their diet a few times a week is a perfectly safe and effective approach. So let's picture that evening meal again, but now it's even more powerful. Imagine a fluffy 2-egg omelette filled with spinach, and right alongside it, a beautiful piece of grilled salmon. As you enjoy this delicious meal, know that you are not just eating dinner, you are strategically fueling a highly sophisticated repair mission that will take place inside your body just a few hours from now. You're sending in both the expert builders and the top-notch security team to ensure the job gets done right. Now we arrive at the part where the real magic happens. We have our two powerful allies, the complete protein from eggs and the anti-inflammatory omega-3Cs from sources like salmon or flax seeds. But having the right tools and materials is only half the battle. The other half, the part that truly unlocks their potential, is timing. It's not just what you eat, but when you eat it that makes all the difference. Why does it matter so much when you consume these specific foods? It's because your body has a brilliant built-in night shift that is perfectly designed for repair and regeneration. As the sun sets and you prepare for sleep, your internal hormonal environment shifts dramatically. Hormones like human growth hormone, which plays a pivotal role in tissue repair, and melatonin, which is more than just a sleep hormone, begin to peak. This surge in nighttime hormones effectively turns your entire body into a highly efficient repair workshop. This is the prime time for rebuilding. If you supply your body with leucine-rich protein and anti-inflammatory fats within 2 to 3 hours of bedtime, you are delivering the raw materials directly to the workshop right when the night shift crew is clocking in. It's the perfect synergy. Your body is primed and ready to build, and you've just provided it with the exact high-quality materials it needs to do the job. Let's go back to our construction site analogy one more time to make this crystal clear. The eggs deliver the bricks and the mortar, the essential amino acids. The omega-3Cs from the salmon or sardines act as the security team, calming the site and ensuring a peaceful, productive environment. And the nighttime hormones like growth hormone are the master architects and engineers, directing the entire build, ensuring every brick is laid perfectly and every beam is reinforced correctly. When these three elements align, the materials, the calm environment, and the expert direction, the result is profound. You don't just stop the process of muscle breakdown, you actively reverse it. You wake up in the morning tangibly repaired, measurably stronger, and more resilient than the day before. This is the night shift secret. Now, let's look at the common mistakes so many people make, and how this new understanding provides the simple fix. A very common mistake is eating the bulk of your protein early in the day, like at breakfast, and then having a light, carb-heavy dinner. There's nothing wrong with protein at breakfast, but if you don't provide any later in the day, by the time the night crew shows up, those building blocks have already been used up for energy or other tasks. The fix is beautifully simple. Shift some of that high-quality protein to your dinner, or even a small, smart evening snack. Another common mistake, as we've discussed, is relying only on bone broth at night. People have the right idea about providing nutrients before bed, but they're using the wrong material. It won't trigger that essential muscle-building switch. The fix is to swap the bone broth for a source of complete protein, like eggs, Greek yogurt, or cottage cheese, and to pair it with an omega-3 source. Let's visualize that perfect evening. One last time. You finish your delicious dinner, that veggie omelette with a side of salmon. You feel satisfied but not overly full. You spend the evening relaxing, maybe reading a book or listening to music, allowing your body to digest. You head to bed in a cool, dark room. Overnight, your body's expert night crew clocks in. They find a construction site that is calm and well-stocked with premium materials. They get to work, efficiently and expertly repairing the day's wear and tear. By morning, when you wake up, you don't feel stiff, you don't feel sore. You feel steady, you feel capable, and you feel strong. Stronger tomorrow truly does start tonight. So, how do you put all of this incredible science into simple, practical action? I know that information is only useful if you can easily apply it to your real life. So I've created a simple, straightforward 30-day strength rebuild plan for you to follow. This isn't about a radical diet or an overwhelming new routine. It's about making a small, strategic change that delivers remarkable results. Here is your plan. Step 1. About 30 to 60 minutes before you plan to go to sleep, have a small meal or a dedicated snack that is centered around complete protein. We've talked a lot about eggs, and a single hard-boiled egg is a perfect option. Other fantastic choices include a small bowl of plain Greek yogurt or cottage cheese, both of which are also rich in slow-digesting casein protein, which provides a steady supply of amino acids throughout the night. Step 2. At the same time, add a source of those powerful anti-inflammatory omega-3 fats. If you had salmon or sardines for dinner, you're already covered. If you're having a snack like yogurt, you can stir in a tablespoon of freshly ground flaxseed or chia seeds. This simple combination delivers both the builders and the site protection crew simultaneously. Step 3. This step is just as important as the food. Create a sleep-friendly environment. Your body's night shift works best in the right conditions. This means making your bedroom as cool, dark, and quiet as possible. It also means putting away electronics like your phone or tablet at least an hour before bed. The blue light from these screens can suppress the production of melatonin, your master sleep hormone, effectively delaying the start of your repair crew's shift. Step 4. Track your progress. This is what will keep you motivated. Get a simple notebook, and for the next 30 days, jot down a few things each morning. Rate your morning stiffness or soreness on a scale from 0 to 10. Notice how steady you feel when you're walking or going up and down stairs. Pay attention to how strong you feel when you're lifting groceries or doing yard work. You may not notice a dramatic change on day 2, but by day 14 and certainly by day 30, the cumulative effects will become undeniable. As a final reminder, it is always wise to consult your healthcare provider before making any significant dietary changes. This is especially important if you are actively managing conditions related to cholesterol or if you take medications for your thyroid or for blood pressure. Your doctor knows your personal health history and can give you the best guidance. And please remember this above all else. This journey is not about finding quick hacks or magic bullets. It's about the quiet, consistent power of small daily actions. It's about understanding your body and giving it exactly what it needs to thrive. These small changes, when done consistently, compound over time into profound gains in strength, vitality, and confidence. So now I have a challenge for you. I invite you to try this protocol for just 30 days. Give your body 1 month of targeted nighttime nourishment and see how you feel. I want you to type D-Day 1 in the comments below if you are committing to starting this plan tonight. Making that public declaration is a powerful first step. Then I want you to come back to this video in 30 days and share your results. Tell us how much stronger you feel, how your morning stiffness has changed, and how your confidence has grown. Because the narrative that says muscle loss after 50 is inevitable is simply not true. It is not your destiny to become weaker or more frail. Your body is a magnificent, self-repairing machine. It wants to rebuild. It wants to be strong. You just have to give it the right tools, the right materials, and crucially, at the right time. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If you found this information helpful, please subscribe for more simple, science-backed ways to feel your best. Now go get ready for day 1.